Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright? Now look, so for this one, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be telling y'all about a fake ass Highland Park cop that pulled me over. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to rob me, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't work out as planned. Let me get into it. But first, before I get into it, let's go. My shirt, I know it's wrinkled as hell, but it's clean though. You know what I'm saying? So back to it. Anyway, so this is 2021, right? When I had the wide body scat pack, right? So I was flying up Woodward Avenue, right? And like I was coming from 8 Mile in Woodward and I was going downtown Detroit, right? So you take Woodward all the way up from 8 Mile all the way downtown Detroit, you cut through a little city called Highland Park. Highland Park stretches from 6 Mile in Woodward all the way uh, down past Davidson, you know. So Highland Park got a nice little area, but it's a real small city inside of Detroit. Highland Park is known as a ghetto ass little city. You know, it's a little trash ass town. It's ghetto as hell, but you know, it's some real motherfuckers up in there. You know what I'm saying? So no disrespect to HP, but you know, we all know what it is. So anyway, I'm riding up Woodward. I'm passing through Highland Park, right? Um, like I said, Highland Park, like old school, you know. So while I'm riding through Highland Park on my way downtown, you know, I'm about to go downtown stunt with the guys. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do, you know. So I'm about to go down there and stunt. I'm in the new wide body, you know what I'm saying? Well, while I'm riding up Woodward, I'm crossing was that the Davidson Freeway, you know. While I'm crossing that freeway, a cop is behind me. I see some police lights. Now it was like a old school Crown Vic, you know what I'm saying? Like the old school Crown Vics the police used to drive back in the days. It was one of them. But it had like police lights, you know, on the dashboard, you know. So that's what caught my attention. Even though when I was looking at the car, I'm looking at the car like that don't look like no cop car. That look like a old school cop car, like now nothing like today, you know. But then I'm like, this Highland Park, you know. So that's probably is the type of cop cars they ride out here, you know. So anyway, I go to pull over, right? When I pull over, you know, it took him a minute to jump out the car, but I'm watching him in my rearview mirror the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So when he finally jumped out the car, I'm looking at the door of the car and everything because I know cop cars, you know. Just looking at the door of it, I could tell it wasn't no real cop car, you know. But I'm just like, you know, let me be patient, let me see what's going on, you know. So the next thing you know, dog come walking up to my car, you know. When he hop out, now I'm looking at him in my left mirror, you know. So I'm looking at him through the left mirror, you know. He walking up. It say animal control on his bodyguard suit, you know, on his, you know, armor or whatever, his vest, you know. It say animal control. I look on his hip, he got a taser on his hip. You know what I'm saying? So he come walking up to the car. I'm like, this ain't no real cop, you know. But then I'm like, I don't know what he is, but he not a cop, you know. So when he walk up to me, he like, you was flying up Wilbur, man. What's going on? Where you on your way to? Blah blah blah. I'm like, shit, I'm about to go downtown with the guys, you know what I'm saying? He like, yeah, man, you know, you was driving real fast, you know. He didn't get too close to the car. He stayed a nice little distance away, you know. But the whole time we both eyeing each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at him like, man, you ain't no real cop. You know what I'm saying? But then he like at a way kind of like clutching his hip a little bit, but not like about to grab it, but like got his arm close. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just watching him like, you ain't no real cop. You know what I'm saying? So he like, well, if you got your license and everything, then I guess you can go. And he had this stare down with me. We stared each other down for like a good 10 seconds. And he was like, all right. He took a step back even further. It was like, all right, you good to go, man. Have a good one. And he walked back to his car. When he walked back to the car, I watched him out that left mirror. Made sure he ain't tried nothing funny. When he got back to his car, I busted a U-turn. You know what I'm saying? He drove past me, gave me that eye-to-eye look. You know what I'm saying? Kept it moving. Jumped right back on Woodward. So, what I got to say about all this, right? Be careful, because sometimes you could think it might be an undercover cop car, because it got the cop lights on it, things like that. Be weary of it, If you don't really trust the car, drive it to the nearest police department, and have yourself pull up in that police department and have that car pull up in it behind you. So just in case if it is a fake cop, the police department can come out there and deal with that. Don't be too quick to just pull over for everybody, because everybody not cops. This guy, his intention was to rob me, but he seen that look on my face. He like, oh shit, well, dog ain't having that. You know what I'm saying? So he had to stand down because he knew I wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? But his intention was to rob me because he seen the car that I was in, and that was some evidently he wanted. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to get me, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't know if I was about to blow him, because I'm looking at him like, I know you ain't no cop. You know what I'm saying? What type of time you on? He never asked me to get out the car. He never asked, to take my license, registration, none of that. He just asked me, did I have it? I'm like, yeah, he talking about my speeding and all of this. Like, man, get the fuck on. You not no cop, man. You trying some shit. If I was one of them type of dudes that he thought he could have sized up and got, he would have robbed me. But he knew I wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? So he had to call it off. Like, shh, yeah, dog ain't going, because I wouldn't. And I know you a fake cop. And the crazy thing about all of that, right? At that time, that was 2021. At that time, it was a lot of that going on, over there in that area too. And I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had told me after I was in a barbershop one day, and I was talking about it. And a dude overheard me talking, and he like, yeah, bro, it's been going on over there, in that area. Like, they got a lot of little fake cops running around robbing people, I'm like, damn, that's exactly what dog was trying to do to me. He was trying to get me, but I gave him that look like I wasn't going. Like, nigga, I know you not no real cop, but them cop lights just caught my attention, and I didn't want to run, and it do be some type of legitimate law enforcement, because then that look bad on me, even if it's not like the police like I wanted to be, but it could be a different form of law enforcement, and then I run from it, now it's a problem. So that was why I pulled over and, I let what happened happen. But at the end of the day, I knew he was a jacker. Before I even knew what was going on in that neighborhood, I knew that he was a jacker. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a Detroit nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the mix. I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I knew he was on some jacking shit. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I wasn't on that, but I already did that, so I knew exactly what he was on, so I gave him that look. He stared me down, gave me that look, and he basically let it be known that he was defeated. And he was like, all right, you got to call it off, and that's how it happened. So be careful while you out here in these streets. It's fake cops that'll pull you over. They fake police and they will rob you. So if this happened and you not too sure about that car, pull up to the nearest police department and let them handle it. I guarantee you won't regret it. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Pour Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.